What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's your girl, Lily Mae, and I am back. And I'm back for the primetime edition of It's Consulting Time. And today, you're going to find out a lot of different things. You're going to find out a lot of different things because I'm bringing you some West Coast information straight out of sunny California, Los Angeles, that is, right? And so, if you paid attention to the advertisement, you will see the question I posed. And the question that I posed was, how many of you knew that Columbus Short was an artist? So yeah, this is going to be interesting and I cannot wait. I absolutely cannot wait to see how you guys feel when you see what's going to happen today. But as always, let me play my favorite intro song. Y'all know I like to get lit. Step up in it cause I got the heels up on my feet. You better watch my red bandana while I'm jugging on the beat. The swag I got was killing it. You got up in these streets and vocals do not mean a thing if you can drop it on the beat. My name don't need no introduction, just know that I am. So respect, don't let go, you know while I'm in this business. Step up in it cause I got the heels up on my feet. You better watch my red bandana while I'm jugging on the beat. The swag I got was killing it. You got up in these streets and vocals do not mean a thing if you can't drop it on the beat. My name don't need no introduction, just know that I am the house. So respect, don't let go, you know while I'm in this business. Time is money, so if you don't talk, you better make it quick. I'm coming for your head, get my follow, I'ma take that shit. I'ma take that shit. I'm a boss, I'm a boss. Walk up in the room, do a boss. I get boss checks, I get boss rich. Get the money fast and I spend it quick. I'm a boss, I'm a boss. Walk up in the room, do a boss. I get boss checks, I get boss rich. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Never been the type of chick to clear a room or up. I let them just talk and listen to it, never gave up. I try my son and then I pick my money up, and that's why what is that it doesn't do, don't switch my money up. I never sold out, I switched up in a real since day one. If it say they made me, it's okay to make another one. I said that shit. I put myself on it. I ain't a bit of baby mama, cause I got money. I'm a boss, I'm a boss. Walk up in the room, do a boss. I get boss checks, I get boss rich. Get the money fast and I spend it quick. I'm a boss, I'm a boss. Walk up in the room, do a boss. I get boss checks, I get boss rich. Y'all do what y'all can, but I do what I want. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Hey yo, I never needed your permission to be me. But it's understood they never gotta be explained. Y'all already know. Y'all were listening to Cocaina herself, and that is one of my favorite songs. And so we're gonna enjoy it. Today is gonna be different. Today is gonna be a little bit different, and I think that you're really gonna like. You're gonna like this individual. Like I said, how many people really knew? How many people knew that Columbus Short was an artist? I sure as hell didn't. I just know he played the hell out of that role in what was it? Stomp the Yard. So yeah, it's just I knew he played the hell out of that role. That's what I do know. So today, today you are gonna hear some valuable information. It's gonna be a very powerful interview. And as soon as he enters the building, I'm gonna bring him on. But I want you to hear this next song. I want you to hear this next song, and it's called Aquarium. And I want you to hear this. All right, yeah. Hey, so guys, what you were just listening to is none other than Aquarium, and that song just dropped not too long ago, and that is actually Columbus Short, and it is featuring the fabulous, the interesting. I'm not gonna tell y'all who I told him he reminded me of just yet. I'm gonna hit him on camera, but without further ado, I would like to present to you Mr. Raj Will straight out of the big city of Los Angeles. What's
What
up?
it do?
What's up?
What
What's
it
up,
do?
Raj? What's
What's
going on?
good? What's good? Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you for the love, the support, the energy, everything you doing for the culture and the community. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I feel honored. Let me tell you something. I'm honored that I can have you on here and I ain't gotta have all these people surrounding you because I don't even want to jump in with everything up front. So what I'm gonna do, guys, let me just tell you guys a little bit about Raj from what I know. So upon connecting with this fine gentleman, I'm thinking, okay, he's just he's an artist. Um, I really don't call him an indie artist because he doing a lot out here. He's doing a lot out here. But after the conversation kind of went on and on and on, it was like, all right, hold up. You what? You who? And you got what coming on? So the interesting thing is I'm sitting up here thinking I'm about to talk to just a generic independent artist. I'm to find out I'm talking to an artist, producer, entertainer, entrepreneur out of Los Angeles, California, just stirring up music and entertainment to the point where he got Columbus Short asking him to feature him in something. What? So, y'all, that's who we're looking at right now. You are looking at Raj Will. He is a seasoned veteran out here. Um, look, I don't care what nobody say. I think he is Tevin Campbell child. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I don't care what nobody say about it. It does not
uh,
matter. But Raj,
Hilarious.
welcome to the platform. It's consulting time, and you are the prime time edition. So introduce yourself to the people, and then we're gonna jump right in.
Yeah, thank you so much for the lovely introduction. I think you laid it out pretty well. I go by the name of Raj Will, South Central Los Angeles, California, LA to the SGV. You know what I'm saying? And I consider myself a music entrepreneur, a sound artist, to say the least. I do a little bit of everything, so I've been blessed and really fortunate to be able to really work in every avenue of the entertainment industry. I started off as a drummer. I was a percussionist. I played drums all throughout high school. That led to opportunities performing at the American Music Awards with Enrique Iglesias, America's Best Dance Crew. We went to Coachella to play with Steve Angelo, so that's really where the first instances of getting a taste of what the entertainment and the music industry was really all about. And from there, I was able to, become an engineer, graduated from the LA Recording School, got a really amazing opportunity as an intern with Neo and Motown Records and Compound Entertainment. And that's what really allowed me to step into kind of everything that I'm doing now, not only as just a drummer, but I'm also a producer. I'm an artist. I'm a songwriter. Gonna be starting up a record label pretty soon. Got my own business, do a lot of live shows. So it's a lot we could dive into. When people ask me what do I do, it's kind of like an awkward question because it's like I don't really just do one thing. I'm truly an artist and a producer at the core, but with all the opportunities that have been coming my way, I've been able to, like I said, I'm just blessed. I prayed and asked God to expand my capacity, and He did that in ways that I never could have imagined. And that's just allowed me to do everything that I'm doing now in a major way. So we could dive into it deeper, but the core of what I am, I'm a
We're
music
going to.
entrepreneur. Yeah, I'm a music entrepreneur, producer, audio engineer, artist, songwriter, entertainment mogul, all that.
So Raj, so guys, you are what you don't understand is this. This gentleman, what I love about him, he's able to be touched. And when I say that, his resume is like this, but he doesn't present it. He doesn't present it. When I talked to this gentleman, it was like my little brother from around the way. And the way he embraced me, it was just like, yo, I made a famous friend. This is great. Cause see, I don't look at, and I think we had this conversation, Raj, and we're gonna talk about how I gave him the motto from sweep to shake. But from sweep to
Yeah,
shake, sometimes I think we get starstruck because we forget that everybody put on their pants just alike.
yeah, facts.
And Raj really talks about himself as himself. And so that's why this presentation is going to be so different because I can't be formal with him. I can't be structured with him because I truly have obtained a friend across on the other coast. And I love it because I know that this is somebody, when I pick up the phone, he's going to answer. He's going to respond. I don't have
Yeah,
to talk to his secretary. I don't have to talk to his manager because he is all of that. All of that.
yeah,
So, Ron,
yeah.
talk a little bit about why I gave you the motto from sweep to shake.
Yeah, so from sweep to shake, which I love that, by the way. I've always considered what it would be like if I was to write a book one day later in my life, and I think that might actually have to be the title, just because it embodies it embodies so much of what the real grind truly is. You know, a lot of people don't really talk about the real grind and the legwork that you have to put in to get into the positions that really make you successful. So what Sweet to Shake was really all about. I after graduating from the LA recording school, I was just wondering like what's next. I graduated, I have all these skills, I have this knowledge, I want to be an artist, I want to be a producer. Engineering was never really in hindsight for me. I was like, engineer is cool. It's whatever for me, but I really wanted to be like, oh, the artist, the producer, so um upon getting a internship with Neo, to me, who is one of the, or not even one of the, but the best songwriter of our generation. He reminds me of Smokey Robinson of our generation, really. I was blessed to be an intern for him, and I worked with his record label for a duration of 3 years. And I started as an intern, just sweeping floors. That's all I did. First one there, opening up the door. One of my cousins, he told me, he was like, man, when you go to that studio, you got to make sure that when you there, they feel the impact of you not being there. And I was like, okay, that's real. How can I apply that? If I'm not directly behind the computer, if I'm not trying to push my music on them, if I'm kind of just staying to myself, what's the best way that I could be effective and truly make them realize what the spot is without me being there, So that's how the whole concept of sweeping and taking out the trash came into play, because here I am after working at Stater Brothers as a courtesy clerk. I used to have to sweep floors every single day, bag groceries every single day. So the training I got at Stater Brothers taught me the discipline of sweeping and cleanliness and sanitation and all that. So I applied that to the studio. I'm
Okay.
like, okay, yeah, I'm the first one here. I'm gonna make sure I take out all the trash in every single room. I'm gonna sweep every single floor, make sure every single floor is clean. I'm gonna go to the restrooms, wipe the glass, get the Windex and start cleaning the windows and doing all these different things, And by doing that, when I'm not there, they notice the trash is not taken out. When I'm not there, they noticing the floors is not being swept. So that made them always be
Okay.
like, well, who is this kid? Why when he here the spot is immaculate, but when he's not here, it's kind of raggedy and ran down. So that's what got me on their radar, and that's what allowed me to go into a position to where now people are like, oh, so what do you do? Oh, I produce. Oh, I write a little bit. I engineer. Oh, okay. Can you engineer my session? And it was a unique situation because interns were getting fired because they didn't know how to engineer. So I was in a position to where I was like, I can't get fired. This is my opportunity to really prove myself and make a staple in this industry. So I was like, I went to the LA recording school. I didn't want to be an engineer, but let me engineer, and that's how the relationship with me and Columbus Short was built, because he saw me sweeping floors and he needed an engineer. He was like, hey, can you engineer this session? I'm like, yeah, I can engineer this session. and it was history from there. And with a lot of other writers though too. Shout out to Constantine, shout out to Candace, shout out to Kizzo. They all saw the humbleness in me to be able to sweep the
That's
floors
right.
and still be a cool person, though, still be somebody that they could talk to. And when it came down to them needing somebody to work with, I was the first one on their radar because I wasn't doing nothing else anyway. So that just transitioned me into a position that has benefited me in a lot of different ways as an audio engineer, because that's like the foundation of my business now.
Wow. So Raj, all right, we're gonna jump all over the place. Cause see,
Yeah, it's a lot.
you as the artist and the engineer is one thing, but then we got to talk about you as the teacher. And
Yeah.
then you see what I'm saying? So all right, but let's stick with where we are right now. So I know, a lot of independent artists go and, they purchase features. Oh, we lost them. So he's going to get on his computer. He did let me know he's going to get on his computer and come back. But guys, the interesting thing about this gentleman is that this gentleman has been requested to literally be featured by whom we would associate the celebrity, right? And
Right.
it's like, okay, what is it? What is it? I think your camera is off. There it is. There it is.
There we
And
go. Sorry
so
about that.
I'm feeling some type of way right now because I'm trying to understand, and I need you in a culture where a lot of independent artists truly feel the need, to get features. And it's cool, if you want to get a feature from an artist, it's cool. But this superstar asked Raj Will to be featured on his song. And I'm like, dude, what? How did that happen?
It's let me see. Hold on.
Oh, you want to switch over? I got you. I got you.
Yeah, there we
There
go.
you go.
There we go.
Oh,
So, can you hear me? Can y'all hear me loud and clear? Okay.
yeah. Hear you real
Cool.
good. Yep.
So, yeah, that's just it's really amazing because I've been working with Columbus for the past 5 years. So, flashing back to when I was just an intern. So, I'm sweeping floors, and then he recruited me. Basically, he was like, "Yo, I need an engineer." So we're putting countless hours in at Neo Studio, working probably from like 8 o'clock at night till about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, faithfully every single day, So the foundation of what I know about songwriting, melodies, harmonies, everything in the R&B lane, it came from those long hours of doing sessions with Columbus and a couple of other writers too. But Columbus is really unique because um, for the past 5 years now, we've stayed in contact. Anytime he need an engineer, he'll hit me up. And anytime he need, production assistant or beats or anything like that, we'll always be in contact. And it came into a situation to where I wasn't just an intern anymore. Eventually, from people seeing me work with him, Neo's camp was like, "Man, you dope. I need you to be the assistant engineer." So I was actually the first intern to get hired by the company, which eventually led to me being the studio manager of the whole studio facility that they had. So by doing that, that's what led to the friendship that I now have with Columbus, because it's been times to where he wasn't even working on music and he'd just call me up like, "Hey bro, how you doing? What's going on? Everything cool?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, man, everything cool. How's you doing? How you doing? How's wifey?" And everything like that. So when it came down to Aquarium, this is a song we did maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And and as independent artists, a lot of people, a lot of us, we know this, but we don't really apply it in a real way. You got to create your own opportunities. You can't just be sitting at the dock of the bay waiting for something to happen. You got to create your own opportunities. So when I heard this song, I'm like,
Raj,
man,
Raj, go back.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I need you to plug it. I need you to plug it for 1 minute. Let's plug it. So discipline.
yeah.
you spoke about discipline and you spoke about humility.
Yeah.
Those are two of the primary characteristics I feel like we have to make sure independent artists up to date understand.
Yeah. Facts.
Because I came up with a phrase yesterday and it just hit me. I was talking with, shout out to the CEO of Sky Records, Frank Mosley. He is off the chain. He gave me an opportunity.
Yeah.
And because of that, that's really why I'm talking to you, because I'm in a position now where I'm forging relationships. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. That part.
But the reality is, we were having a conversation, and then I was having a conversation with my sister. Happy birthday, Amber.
Hey, happy
And
birthday.
the reality is that, Raj, I said, you know what? Arrogance is associated with the lack thereof, but confidence is associated with provision.
Right.
And because you were not arrogant and didn't have a chip on your shoulder because you were sweeping that floor,
Yeah.
your confidence in the provision of your position gave you the opportunity to not be Raj Will featuring Columbus Short, baby, but he came for you. And
Right.
I'm sitting here like, Raj, I am so honored and esteemed that you even allowed me to tap into you.
It's no
Because what
problem.
you're pouring into me is just like, yo, no, this is what you do. I did it. You create your own opportunity and you go with it. But no, go back and tell your story. But I feel it. I just
No,
felt it. Go back and
that's
tell
real.
your
I
story.
feel like if we don't, as a culture, if we don't help each other, then what are we doing this for? You know, how are we gonna? It's a concept that they use at my church. They call it the 4G generation. You know, if we not extending out our knowledge to the fourth generation of our lineage, then how are we going to have longevity and have a something generational wealth, but not wealth in the sense of monetary, but knowledge too. You know, so
Speak.
us as a culture, if we not giving knowledge to each other, there's no way to continue that lineage of culture within our people, and not even just our people, other races do it too, but specifically with black people, what I'm saying, we don't have that a lot, so it's something that I'm very adamant about. Anything that I learned, I gotta teach it to the next person, or I gotta share my story, because if not, nobody will be able to grow, and us as a culture will never grow. And I'll
So
talk
let's
a
talk
lot
about
too, though. So stop me if I'm talking too much.
it's about you. It's about you. So talk about that. So you just talked about being a teacher. Talk about the business. Talk about the business. Talk about the artist development. Tell us a little bit about what your business endeavors entail.
Yeah, so I have a company called Beyond Average Sound, and again, this all started as from the foundation of being an engineer. I've been able to engineer with the greatest artists to me of all time. I just put out a album with JoJo. I was able to engineer that through Warner Brothers and stuff like that. So I put myself in a position to have a company that and a brand and a personality that artists want to continue working with. Beyond Average Sound, it's a multimedia, to me, conglomerate. We do audio engineering, mixing and mastering, music supervision. I'm doing a lot of production. We do a live show called Set Live, to where artists are able to come and perform with a live band and do all these other things. And now I'm in a position with a lot of great people that I've known for probably over 10 years now. I'm actually in a position to transform Beyond Average Sound into a record label in a unique way, with services called the platform, in which we're able to give artists things that they otherwise wouldn't have. They could be in a studio with me, an engineer who's worked with everybody, a producer who's worked with a lot of dope people. So we're collecting all these beats from a lot of up and coming producers and established producers to now work with these artists that are getting the services with us, and that's all under the Beyond Average umbrella. So it's a lot. It's more to just being an artist. I look at the people that I'm inspired by, the Jay-Z's, the Dr. Dre's, the P Diddy's. They started off in music, and then they elevated that into successful businesses, not only for themselves but for the people around them. So that's really what Beyond Average is. Shout out to my partners, Ike Jackson, Chris Doolittle, Mark Branson, Talia. We all have been brainstorming and figuring out unique ways to really change the industry, and this is going to be something that really takes the industry by storm, I feel like.
Wow. Raj, I think one of the most important things is, like you said, making sure that we're teaching, but not just teaching. I think the other part of it is beyond average sound. That just speaks volumes. Beyond average sound. Well, number one, nothing about you was average, so let's just put that out there. But beyond average sound, it's almost like what I hear you saying is that you're developing a Harvard or a Yale for music.
Yeah, basically.
That's what I hear you saying.
Yeah. That's essentially the thought process behind it, because and everything funnels into each other too. So artists can start off at the platform, they can buy into our services, and they could get the whole project development. They could tap into our strategic partners and do all these other different things, and then they go to the next level, and then now they're able to perform at the set live, to where we have a live music experience. We actually have a show tomorrow at Dame Dash Studios. It's going to be fully on his network and everything like that, to where artists are able to perform on this platform with a live band, whereas a band is really expensive. You can't just perform with a band. And
That's it.
I'm tapping into my network, my close friends who have toured with everybody all around the world, and really creating something unique for artists who are hungry and dedicated to the craft. And so you go from the platform, you perform at the set live, and then eventually you can reach a situation to where, as Beyond Average, the label, after you put in all your hard work, after you've done everything that you're supposed to do, after you know how to handle yourself and carry yourself as an artist, now you could possibly be signed to us as a label, and we could push you in a way that you
Shut your mouth.
be pushed. Yeah, it's
Shut
a,
your mouth. What did you say? You said carry yourself as a what?
as a professional and an artist,
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You're telling me there's a particular way that you have to conduct yourself for major labels to look at you. Is that what you're saying to me?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta realize, if people really study music, and I'm a student of the game. I've been a student of the game since I was 12 years old. So if you really study the history of record labels and the people who are great today, the people we look at as legends and icons today, it started
Absolutely.
with it started with Motown Records. Motown Records, they they laid out such a beautiful foundation of what the standard of excellence is supposed to be. And when you look deeper into that, they forced all their artists to take artist development classes. So they're teaching artists how to speak to the media. They're teaching artists how to carry themselves on talk shows. And when they perform, don't slouch, hold your chest up, and speak, and, don't talk with the slang. Don't be slurring your words, really know how to conduct yourself. If you're shaking a white man's hand, Asian man's hand, black man's hand, you got to know how to talk to them in all those different avenues, because obviously the dialogue is going to be different, so looking at what I've been able to do and what I've seen done within myself, people, like, I'm able to call Neo and call Columbus Short and talk to JoJo and talk to all these other artists and have a real human to human conversation. People don't really rock with you because of your music. Your music is the last thing they want to think about. I didn't go into Neo's studio as an intern, like, yo, here's my mixtape, check out my mixtape. I'm asking, like, how's your kids doing? How's your wife doing? What'd you do this past weekend? What do you like to do? What inspires you? Real human questions that
Organic, authentic.
organic, authentic, because that's what it's all about. You got to know how to talk to people. At the end of the day, people are going to respect you for who you are quicker than for what you do. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Like,
That's powerful.
even when me and you talked, I didn't know what type of platform you had, but the way you came about it, the direct message you sent, the email you sent, the way our conversation happened initially, like, it's all that personally connected me to you, and it made me have respect for you just by the way you carried yourself as a woman, as an artist, as a entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of artists don't understand that. It's all about how you carry yourself. You know, it humbleness goes a long way, man. Neo is the most humble person I've ever met, you know, and he's the most successful songwriter of our generation. So that tells you a lot.
Oh, wow. And I thank you. I thank you for even, guys, once again, you are hearing from Raj Will. He started out as a percussion performer and now he is just he's doing everything. He is one of the industry moguls that you don't hear about. And guys, I need you to understand something. Everybody want their name in the lights. What y'all not understanding is that the people behind the scenes, the men behind the sound, the men behind the paperwork, the one who started out sweeping the floors and bringing you something to drink and maybe getting you some napkins here and there, or maybe even answering your phone like, hold up, player.
Barbecue and chicken. Yeah, like the first time I ever barbecue was at the studio. They're like, hey, can you grill up some chicken? I'm like, no, but I'm gonna do it though.
And look, if anybody gets sick, I told y'all I ain't know how to do it.
That part.
But Raj, that's probably the hardest thing I think for us to really get artists to see is that you can be talented all day. But if you have a nasty attitude and no one wants to work with you, no one can approach you, you have to be approachable.
Yeah. I've seen people get fired because their attitude was just not it. You know, I've seen people like, oh no, we ain't gonna call that person back, or you're done today because you wasn't personable. You can't be talked to, you know.
Mm-hmm. So tell me this, without, because we know you teaching and you got a business, but what are some of the things that you focus on with artist development? I know we talked about presentation, but what are some of the other things that you focus on? Because a lot of artists don't know a lot about just the business side, period. And they don't think they need to know because they feel like, oh, well, somebody else gonna do that for me. I'm signed, somebody else gonna do that for me. Or I have a manager, somebody else gonna do this for me. And a lot of people don't look at our old artists and how a lot of them went bankrupt because they're forgetting they're the artist. You still got to pay all these people. So you might make $1 million, but you might have to pay out $3 million. Right. And what you got left, -$2 million. So talk a little bit about the importance of understanding the business for our artists.
Yeah, the business side is so crucial because and take it from me, I didn't want to have nothing to do with the business. You know, I'm like, I just want to create. I just want to be in the studio. I just want to perform, organize shows, put together these productions and do all these different things. But Columbus actually told me this. He was like, you know, everybody that worked with me, you know, 5 years ago, they know me by my real name. So he was like, Jamar, you can't just be all. Oh, it's all good. I ain't tripping. You know that it's what makes me real. You know, if you don't know who I really am and you don't know how things came about, then it won't really relate to you and make sense. You know, so it's cool. You know, people can know my name, Jamar. You know, aka Raj Will. You know what I'm saying? And that's derived from my name as well. But back to the point though, he was like, man, Jamar, you gotta know the business side. You can't be all art. You know, you got to be able to understand the business. And I'm like, okay, well, let me start tapping into this a little further. And what I realized is, for one, and people don't even know this, say you're an engineer, say you're a producer, you're a songwriter, and you do a song with a major label. So I was able to work with Warner Brothers. And probably about 4 months prior, I created my business. So I went down to the LA County Registry office, you know, registered Beyond Average Sound, registered Beyond Average, started my umbrella, got my EIN number, you know, did all the business stuff that I was supposed to do, created my website, put all my credits on the website, did all that stuff. Flash forward 4 months later, I get a call to work with JoJo, who signed to Warner Brothers. And now they're asking me, do you have a business bank account? What's your EIN number? What's your business name? Because record labels are not paying you, the person, they're paying your business, you know. And had I not done
That's it.
that ahead of time, I wouldn't have been able to get paid, you know. So understanding the
Nope.
business is very crucial if you want to have longevity in this game and you want to go further than where you at. You got to know the business side. You know, there's a lot of books that can help you with that. All you need to know about the music business. Hustle is a really dope book. Even Charlemagne's new book, you know, and outside of books, if you're not a book person, YouTube, you know, YouTube what a DBA is, YouTube what an EIN number is, YouTube how to get a business bank account, because all these things are going to help you in the long run. Even if you don't want to, even if you're not getting paid from big major labels, you still need a business bank account, because now the gas that you use to get to your studio sessions, the gas that you use to go to these networking events, that's a tax write-off. You know, the food you eat,
That's it.
the food you eat, and your cell phone bill, you know what I'm saying? Like all this is tax write-offs because you're doing things as your business and you're an entrepreneur, you know. So
That's it.
it's extremely important to know the business side, you know what I'm saying?
You know, Raj, it's funny to hear you saying some of the same things that I have been saying to indie artists for some time. And the funny thing is that I always get the comment, well, somebody else go do that for me, or what do you know? You're not an artist. I was like, but I know business and I know law. And
Right.
I do know that if you cannot read and you don't read your contract, you're going to be broke.
Yeah, they're gonna
And you're
take all your money.
paying people for your talent.
Yeah, nah, that's out. That's out. That's how, if you look at everybody who went bankrupt or everybody who lost all their money, they say the same thing. Yeah, somebody was taking my money on the back end. So that means when you put your money in other people's hands, they able to, you know, take a cut that you didn't even realize was a cut. You know, so
Absolutely.
you gotta be all the way tapped in with that. You know.
Absolutely. So what else? So what's next? Like, I mean, Beyond Average Sound is already established, but what's next? What is your ultimate goal? Because we already know where you're going. I'm claiming it. I feel like if we speak it, it
Yeah,
is
that
so.
part.
So it's already manifested.
That part. Thank
You know
you.
what I'm saying? So to me, you're gonna go, from sweep to shake to now, you about to be selling.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Because you sell your services. And the reality is that major labels are so bombarded with things coming in, they already got their godson. The
yeah.
godson. So what's next? Like what's gonna be next for you?
It's a lot of things. The thing I've been focused on most is transforming this beyond average umbrella from a multimedia company to a label.
Hmm.
And really, it's just the beginning. You know, I've been able to be blessed with the the Columbus song I produced, engineered, mixed, and mastered it, featured on it. You know, shout out to my first Kings brothers, Triple S the Best, the Outlaw Bass. You know, helping me out on the production on that. And along with the feature I did with Kate Cola, who's extremely established in the industry, got her own businesses, you know. So I feel like this has just put me on a launching pad now. You know,
Yes.
now people are really paying
So
attention. You know, they like, hold up, he was doing this at first. How'd he do that now? You know, so it's just catapulted me. You know, this is just the beginning. I got a lot of new music that I've been working on. And the artists that we're working with are about to really shock the industry as well. You know, I like I said earlier, we got a show tomorrow at Dame Dash Studios, which is really unique because nobody gonna do it like this, and nobody is it's just unique. I can't even explain how unique it's gonna be. You know, I've been doing set live for the past 3 years. Started off in Pasadena. Yeah, I've been curating live music events. So um, I had a job with the LA Galaxy. They're the professional soccer team out here in LA, and I was a stage manager, all while being an artist, all while producing, audio engineering, building my business and stuff like that. But that taught me the essential elements of how to run a production, how to put on a show, how to organize a group of people and a media team. So from that, I was
yeah.
able to create Set Live, and that's just a live music experience. We have a lot of dope artists from R&B, hip hop, jazz, soul, all those, you know, feel good vibes, rappers, singers, got the lights, got the DJ and all that. you know. So
Yeah.
a vision of mine, you know, shout out to my brother Brenton Lee. I started doing that at his hair salon in Pasadena, and from there, a year later, I was able to move into a bigger studio, SLG Studios, and now here we are, 3 years later, filming our first live taping, or not even taping because it's not taped, but live recording of Set Live at Dame Dash Studios, which is a TV studio. So now I'm in a unique situation to where I'm turning what just was a live music experience into an actual TV show independently. You know, so that's at the forefront of my focus, and just really, I'm trying to take over the industry. You know, with Set Live, with Beyond Average, with myself as an artist and a sound artist, being able to produce for artists, engineer for artists, songwrite for artists. You know, you gonna see Grammys in every category. You know, we're gonna be writing,
Absolutely.
yeah,
I
writing
already
music
told,
for
I was
movies,
telling
all
my
that.
homegirl, I said, look, I told my sister, you know, she has her line. I was like, get my outfits in order. My tickets are ready. I'm ready to fly. I'm ready to fly
Yeah,
out. I'm gonna be out there like, yo, what are we doing?
yeah,
It's real though. It's so real. And I think the biggest part of it is that you're just so humble. Oh my God. I and Raj, this is the thing. This isn't the last time. It's the first, but it's the beginning. Because my hope is that when we come back to this platform, it's gonna be you and the conglomerate. Because I think what the people need to see is they need to see your team. They
yeah.
need to see how this works with a team. You can't do it all by yourself.
You really can't. You know, people. You really can't do it by yourself. You know, even if you look at who did it successfully independent, you look at the Chance the Rappers, the Kendrick Lamars, they had a big team behind them. They had a very strong support system. And me coming from you know, I come from a marching band background. You know, I was in drumline all 4 years throughout high school. I got my drum. I got my drum pad and my sticks right
I
here. You
saw
know,
that keyboard over there behind you. I got mine back there in my bedroom too. What's up?
yeah, there we go. Hey, you know,
Damn.
so in the marching band and the drumline community, we helped each other a lot. We was a family, you know, and we learned how to work as a team to collectively move towards one goal. You know, so I've been able to apply that philosophy with everything that I'm doing now, because now with Set Live, with Beyond Average, with myself as an artist, I can't do all this stuff by myself. I got to have a camera crew. I got to have a sound team, and I got to know how to understand all these different elements too, you know. And I've been able to work in all these elements, so I'm able to relate to people in a different way, and put together these teams of people that really see the vision. You know, so you can't do it by yourself. You know, you just got to stay down, keep working, and pray that the right people come into your path, and they, you know, see the vision the way you've been seeing it. You know, and maybe even help enhance the vision, you know, show you ways that you didn't even think of seeing it, you know.
That's it. Oh my God. Look, we're not giving you all the jewels today. We're not. Because I know you have a spirit to help. You have a spirit to grow. You have a spirit to develop. And I'm excited. I'm excited about what's next because I do know that I'm learning. I'm learning, and to really be able to go through the website. And guys, I'm going to put all of his information out there so that you can see the website and you can also truly listen to the music and listen to the music that he's produced. Um, I'm gonna play natural selection, and then because they already heard. I'm going to play natural selection, guys, and then we're going to close out with final thoughts from none other than the Raj Will.
Cool.
There we go. The music always, you know what? Windows Media Player be tripping sometimes.
It's all good.
It want to do its own thing.
handed nothing, so mom had to work overtime. Always trying to get my dad to show me that he loved me, but he had his own issues from when he was just a child. Plus he had his own way of dealing with love. Not knowing internally he was fucking me up. If he only had a clue, was clocking his every move, made it hard for baby girl to accept real love. Damn, people in systems is counting on our silence. People in systems is propping it off the violence. Niggas is up for sale, we can't afford to fail. I'm asking God how the fuck we supposed to survive.
Y'all hear Raj Will in that?
We've been looking for love in all the wrong places. Trauma from a childhood we ain't faced yet. Instead of looking for the love and validation, we gotta do better with who we let in our spaces. You a crick, you a blood super. Them Europeans making money off of you, and we don't spend on the land that we bank out. Niggas segregated, this a 2020 gym crop, and we got stress and anxieties. Cause the truth is we not really free. Humans was never built for poison our tempo. That's why they try to fuck with our mental. They wanna keep us locked up, held down. Survival wanna keep us drowned. This crazy life we live and stay solid, don't be a clown. This crazy life we live and stay solid, don't be a clown. They wanna keep us locked up, held down. Survival wanna keep us drowned. This crazy life we live and stay solid, don't be a clown. This crazy life we live and stay solid, don't be a clown.
Wow, Raj, yo, that was crazy. That was crazy. I love it. And so, guys, that was K Cola featuring Raj Will, guys. So definitely check out Raj. I mean, Raj, what would you? I mean, what are your final thoughts? Because I know, we could go on and on and on, but what are your final thoughts?
The final thoughts, it's just you gotta always hold it down. You gotta always stay grounded, and you gotta know where you want to go, and you gotta know how to navigate where you trying to go. You know what I'm saying? With everything that we talked about today, even with the two songs that you played, between the aquarium and natural selection, those all manifested from just me staying consistent. I've been working with Columbus for a long period of time. I was ready, and I was able to put myself in a position to create my own opportunity. I had a song that we did a long time ago. I reproduced it, I put myself on it, and I pushed the issue to get that to the forefront of where it's at now. With natural selection, I've been engineering for K Cola. Actually, Neo's engineer who taught me the essential elements of engineering and vocal production. He referred me as a client to her. I've been her engineer. I've been her engineer for probably about 5 years now, and it just so happened that she was like, "You write, right?" I'm like, "I do write." She's like, "Oh, okay, cool. I need a hook on this song." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I was just ready, So anybody that you're around,
See?
you gotta not force the issue, but you also gotta be ready for when the issue is ready to be you know what I'm saying? You got to be ready for the moment. You got to stay ready so you don't got to get ready. And that just comes from creating your own opportunities, learning everything you can about the industry you in. If you a carpenter, you're gonna learn every type of wood. If you a soccer player, you're gonna learn everything about the game. If you're playing basketball, football, you learning everything about the game. And music is nothing shy of that. If you're doing music, learn everything about music. I'm over here, refining my scales, and I'm trying to, stay on point with key signatures and,
That's
and, mu-
right.
and music theory and stuff like that. So to really be in this game, you gotta know everything about your industry, from the creative side of it, the production side of it, the business side of it, you know, everything that makes it move, you know, and that's how you're gonna have longevity in this game. You know, you can't expect to last a long time in this industry. If you just want a quick check, I mean, you know, I'm not gonna knock it. That's cool. Get a quick check, you know, make a couple 100,000. But for me, I'm trying to have longevity in this game, you know. So with that,
That's
I'm
it. Network,
learning
network.
everything I can about it, you know. And always be a student of the game. Always be a student of the game.
Wow. Lord, look, Raj, like I said, this is just the beginning. We got so much. We're gonna be like Clyde Davis. We're gonna be old. We're gonna be
Yeah,
old, but we're gonna still be kicking. We're gonna still be
that
kicking.
part,
That's right.
that part.
Wow, Raj, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank
no problem,
you.
no
Thank
problem.
you. We're gonna definitely put it together. Hopefully, I'm gonna say before the summer is out, I'm gonna be in the sky, and we're gonna really connect, and we're gonna shake and embrace and
Yeah,
solidify because this is what it is. And I love it.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No
Thank you
problem.
so.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks for reaching out. And just, you know, the people, man, check out the music. RajWill.com. You could hear the features I did with Columbus and K Cola. Check out the EP I got out now, Shockwave with Azova music. Check out all the singles I put out over the past year and a half, you know, and tap into the label, man, beyondaverage.la. And you can find out more about our services, what we do, and how we pushing forward this music industry thing, man. I go by the name of Raj Will, West
Absolutely.
Coast. I call myself the West Coast Killmonger.
Hey, hold up. Hey.
Hey,
All right, it was awesome. And we will definitely we'll connect. We will connect. We will connect, and we will stay connected because that's what it's about. Like minds, and as always, where two or three are gathered, you already know the rest.
that part, that part. To God be the glory.
Yes, thanks so much, Ryan.
All right, no problem. Thanks for having.
Guys, look, Raj Will, that's all I can say. Check out Columbus Short single Aquarium featuring Raj Will. I'm your girl, Lily Mae. I don't have anything to say. Follow me, go on Instagram and follow me at Sanaa Sultan Express. So many things are popping off. We're going to keep bringing interviews your way, keep bringing you the best kept secrets in the mainstream industry as well as the independent industry. Have a great day, everyone.